Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Galactic Report. Today is May 16th, 2025, and I have collected a few news items that were dominant last week, especially some solar weather events. And I will begin with an interesting study that came out lately because Amish officially declared world's healthiest children after rejecting vaccines. The Amish, for giving context to those who are not familiar with them, are a conservative Protestant religious community that lives predominantly in the US and is characterized by a very traditional way of life. They reject technological progress, and they also have a strong sense of community. Their origins lie in Europe, where their ancestors emigrated from Germany and Switzerland in the 18th century. And a major new investigation has found out that Amish children are free from chronic conditions that are affecting young children across the rest of the world. So, of course, this raises a lot of interest, how this is possible. And a study conducted by the Vaccine Safety Research Foundation found that COVID death rates amongst Amish communities are 90 times lower than the rest of America after the official COVID interventions. So Amish communities reject vaccines, and during the pandemic, they maintained their normal daily lifestyle. And in May 2020, the Amish achieved herd immunity. They protected the health of their families by doing the exact opposite of what the authorities recommended. And this is really something interesting here. I'm not promoting the Amish lifestyle as such. They are known for simple living, plain dress, traditional food, and a deep-rooted Christian pacifism. And they reject most modern technology, as I said, and pharmaceuticals. And instead, they choose to live self-sufficient within very tight communities. That said, there are certain values they hold that deeply resonate with me. Simplicity, deep connection to the land, honesty, humility, and the beauty of face-to-face conversations. And above all, Gelassenheit, which I could translate as a quality of inner calmness and surrender. And yeah, I think the Swiss are definitely better with this than the Germans. Gelassenheit feels especially vital right now. In the midst of the turbulence many of us feel on Earth at this time, with all that's unfolding geopolitically, exopolitically, in economics and socially, Gelassenheit, with its quality of calm presence, can help us stay centered and navigate these turbulent times without losing ourselves. And now, with our newfound Gelassenheit, let's dive into some news topics that we witnessed in the last days. And I would like to have a look at Switzerland with all of you and what it has to do with alchemy. Because scientists at the Large Hadron Collider witnessed lead turn into gold. In medieval alchemy, lead, which in astrology is assigned to Saturn, was the base matter, heavy, slow, bound by time and limitation. whereas gold, the radiant metal, the incorruptible metal too, belongs to the sun. It is the symbol of divine perfection and illumination. And alchemists dreamt of turning one into the other for centuries. And now at beautiful Lake Geneva, we hear this echo again. At CERN, scientists accelerated lead atoms, which hold Saturn's signature to nearly the speed of light, and try to invoke collisions between them. And something very extraordinary occurred because gold nuclei emerged within a very short time frame of split seconds. But traces of the sun were birthed from Saturn's dense core, if we want to speak metaphorically. And of course, it's not practical alchemy. As I said, only trillionths of a gram gone in a flash, but the symbolism I find is quite breathtaking. Through the lens of astrology, we can witness a cosmic metaphor here. Saturn sheds its protons like karmic weight and reveals the hidden solar gold within. It's transmutation, not just in matter, but in meaning. And perhaps this is a mirror of our times. As structures, Saturn collide and destabilize around us, something golden, the sun, wants to emerge, not forged through force, but through the high frequency choreography of the electric potential. We are witnessing a new kind of alchemy. And it still serves the same ancient goal to find the gold within the lead, but maybe also to become who we truly are beneath all we were told to be. Let's talk more about the alchemy of the solar fire and have a glimpse into the current solar cycle. Our sun, as I mentioned before, who was revered as the celestial embodiment of gold in both alchemy and astrology, has entered an intense and accelerated phase of activity, especially last week. We had two major X-class flares and some M-class flares. And on Tuesday, the X-class flare was the strongest so far in this year, an X 2.7 class flare, and it caused radio blackouts across Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. The flare originated from a rapidly developing sunspot named AR4087. And this sunspot now rotates closer to Earth-facing alignment, which makes it really interesting. Sunspots are dense magnetic regions where tension can snap and release solar flares or coronal mass ejections, CMEs. And while some recent CMEs, like the large filament eruption on May 12th, were not directly Earth-facing, they hint at what is building, because solar radiation from these events ionize Earth's upper atmosphere, disrupt high-frequency radio, and increased electromagnetic stress on infrastructure, especially aging power grids. And of course, we have the beautiful auroras happening as well. There is a deeper rhythm unfolding. Solar cycle 25, in which we are presently, is behaving more dynamically than scientists have anticipated so far. Activity is now projected to stay high through at least 2026, and this accelerates change on both planetary and personal levels. Many are experiencing bodily symptoms. Many notice how time stretches and contracts, and how the internal shifts feel like entire seasons compressed into weeks or even days. But this is the true nature of alchemy, because Saturn, again, lead, and the sun, gold, serve as perfect archetypes here. Just like in CERN, where the transmutation of lead into atoms of gold happened, this mirrors our ancient alchemical dreams we still hold. And so also the solar activity pushes us from density into luminosity. The outer changes reflect inner crystallizations of consciousness. My theory is that these solar pulses are not just external events, but initiatory forces, and they catalyze the breakdown of outdated structures and also activate dormant codes within us. The more electromagnetic pressure builds, the more we receive the invitation to evolve, because larger transformations are coming, and the ongoing solar events are quite subtly but steadily altering Earth's electromagnetic field, and therefore our own electromagnetic fields as well. And they reveal weaknesses in older systems, in older power systems. And I mean this literally and figuratively. And at the same time also accelerates both planetary and human evolution. I think we are entering a phase where the Earth grid lines, the meridians, the ley lines, and the crystalline structures are reformulating for what I have been talking about for quite some time now, the emergence of humanity as a galactic civilization. And I am so excited and curious how this will unfold. Let me know in the comments if this resonates with you. I would like to wrap up this week's Galactic Report with two news items, one buried deep underground and one coming from the skies. American researchers claim to have cracked one of the Bible's enduring mysteries after using radar technology to map the possible remains of Noah's Ark. An independent researcher revealed the results of his multi-year project, and he says it is exactly what you'd expect to find if this were a man-made boat, consistent with the biblical specifications of Noah's Ark. Andrew Jones and his team were attempting to solve the age-old question of whether the legendary vessel is buried in the mountains of eastern Turkey near Mount Ararat, which the Bible describes as the boat's final point of destination. And at Durupinar site, they found a 538-foot-long boat-shaped mound with the same dimensions as the ark is described in the book of Genesis. They used ground-penetrating radar to detect what appeared to be the boat itself, but also a 13-foot tunnel traversing the center of this formation, and 3 subterranean layers, which are ship-shaped, plus angular structures, which the researchers describe as possible quarters in the ship's body. And the team hopes to conduct a core drilling survey soon, along with additional ground penetrating radar scans to better discern what lies beneath. Now, I personally do not believe the Bible is to be taken literally. To me, it is a book of soul alchemy and celestial initiation. It is highly symbolic. It is encoded with astrological archetypes and alchemical metaphors that point not so much to historical events, but to the inner journey of transmutation. Each parable, each character, each miracle speaks to stages of consciousness, to ego death, and to the rebirth of soul in alignment with divine order. But I am always open to new revelations, and I am also convinced that we will see many miracles in the near future. One of those miracles was found in South America, where scientists presently study a UFO orb that landed in Colombia. And they claim that the mysterious object is alien after they have scanned it with X-rays. They believe that it was not constructed by humans. This object fell from the skies in March this year. It's a metallic sphere with no visible wells. And upon touch, it feels cold, like a refrigerator, people say. And it is also etched with markings looking like runes or even ancient Mesopotamian scripts, which I find interesting from a galactic astrology point of view. And the object was recovered by locals who also noted strange physical effects upon contact. For example, when water touched the sphere, it instantly vaporized. And also X-ray analysis has revealed a 3-layered outer shell, and it encloses 18 microspheres arranged around a dense central chip. Scientists describe this arrangement, and they think it has an intentional internal architecture which might be of artificial origin. As I said, the structure shows no evidence of human manufacturing, no joints, no welds, and the outer shell, as I said, exhibits a strange phenomena. And the inner organization raises deeper questions for sure. For now, science is cautious in both cases, but in the great spiral of the unknown, I think it's the symbolic energy behind those news that continue to invite us to look and listen closely, maybe with Gelassenheit. So I invite you to start a conversation in the comments. What do you make of this week's events? How do you see the near future unfolding yourself? And what are you sensing as your role and your part in all of this? Let me know. I'm curious as ever. I read every comment and I try to answer all of your comments too. And I am happy if you take something out of what I found interesting in this week's report to share with you all. Have a lovely weekend, and I see you next week with another edition of the Galactic Report. And until then, bye-bye.